It's High Time Reviews. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. We back with another one. This is BMF Season 2, Episode 6, Homecoming, all right? So we're going to jump straight to it. Look, the boys is back in town. I'm going to just start out with that. The boys is back in town, and they looking for Lamar. So they out in the streets. They got the little baby Jeep, the Suzuki. They got the Suzuki out, and they riding around, and they looking for Lamar. And they pretty much like, bro, you came to my mom's house. Like, you came and you approached my mom. Like, this different now. Like, you know, so, I mean, they riding around. And then, and the next thing, you got Lamar up in the Alba house, still burping that bag. First and foremost, sir, get out of Alba house. Get out of Alvin house, because it honestly is going to end up being a thing. Like, I don't even know how much more Alvin will be able to take of this man being in his house for real. So Alvin straight tell him, like, the Flannery boys is out. They got the gas. They riding around. They looking for you, brother. And he like, oh yeah, I like that. He like, I definitely like that. So after that, you got the BMF crew basically meeting up at the record store or whatever. So you got what's his name, Hoop, Terry, Meech, and then a couple other people end up showing up or whatever. So he asking everybody, you know, what they've been doing while they've been gone, this, that, and the third. They like, oh, well, you know, what's up with B. Mickey? They like, oh, yeah, he been MIA since y'all been gone for real, you know. Supposedly, he holding, so he running his own shit, you know. So they like, oh, yeah. And I feel like from that moment, he knew something was off with B. Mickey. Like, Meech knew something was off, because he like, whole time, how the deal fall through before we left with the medical grade stuff. But now, you supposedly holding, you running your own show. Okay. So, my man Saki, he like, look, I gotta go drop my kid off. He got a basketball practice, this, that, and the third. Terry make a little joke about how he can't ball. He basically told him he can't even ride a bike, and I feel like that was an odd joke. So he go out to take his piss, and this nigga Lamar murders the shit out of him. Right there, while he peeing. He couldn't, he almost had a second to pull his strap, but Lamar was quicker on the draw. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, Lamar was definitely quicker on the draw. After that, you know, of course, it's a crime scene now. So here go Brian and Jen rolling up, talking a shit, and basically like antagonizing, meeting them in their moment of like, I don't know, sadness, because it's like their homeboy is dead, and you're like trying to basically like still pop your shit. Like, bro, give it a rest, like, for real. Like, you don't have no chill, like, honestly. So Meech basically tell him, like, yo, go do your job, you feel me? And, like, find out who did this to my homeboy, like. And he like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do more than that, you know? And, of course, that's Brian being Brian. And Jen just right there. Fucking right-hand man. It was what Beach called them Beauty of the Beast. I say, yo, I'm dead. At least we know Jen Beauty. No shade. No shade. So, in the midst of the whole crime scene, you got some faint out looking dude run up the hoop.
You told me to holler. Now's not a good time, Callis. All right, but I got you. Just give me a minute.
Yo, you told me to holler at you. Hoop tell him like, bro, this ain't even the time. So I'm trying to figure out who this dude is. They wouldn't have showed that scene for nothing. Who is Hoop cutting side deals with too? Because now it's like, well, everybody got their little own thing going on. Okay. Next scene, like, you got Lamar out. He just out and about, I guess, catching some fresh air. And he runs across this battered dog, and it's a pit. I think it's a pit. Black pit, but it's like taped up, because it's like clearly the owner has been using the dog to fight or whatever. So Lamar starts talking to the dog. He starts building this weird ass connection with the dog, and then all of a sudden, like, he basically says he gonna take the man dog. So in the midst of all that, the dude come out, hella racist, hella angry, and Lamar hella whooped his ass. Like, real bad. Like, to the point where he ended up giving him very much a Mike Tyson. And here's my thing with the dog. Now, most dogs usually protect their owners. But clearly this dog felt as though that owner never protected them. So that dog literally let Lamar beat the dog shit out of him, like, and did nothing. And did nothing. So in the next thing you got Meech and Terry, and they up in the trap house or whatever. He basically telling him like, look, we gonna need a little extra help with this Lamar situation. I'm considering hitting up like the PA niggas and like seeing if they be down to ride with us and probably sell some product for us. So Terry like, I don't know. Meech like, doesn't really matter. I'm gonna go to the meetup and I'ma just insert myself. He's like, I'm gonna introduce myself. I'm gonna be me. He like, look, Terry like, look, just be fucking careful for real. For the next scene, you get like this little small scene, and it's like Jen running around headquarters, and she looking for Bryant, and somebody like, oh yeah, he over there having a conversation with Smitty. And one thing about the two of them is they love mainly just Jen for real, because Jen is the main one that's always peeking through a window and watching somebody from a mile away. So of course she see Bryant and Smitty beefing in the evidence room, and then there's some type of weird handoff exchange between the two of them, and she sees it. So I'm like, oh my God, here go Jen, seeing something else she ain't got no business seeing. Once this scene hit, I already knew. I said, listen, this episode not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good for this character. And that character would be B. Mickey. So in the next scene, you got B. Mickey having a dream / nightmare / reality, whatever it was. He's like sleep, and he's dreaming, and he wakes up, and he's like sees a big ass belly in his face. So in his mind, the first thing that come out of his mouth is, hey baby Mickey, and then he like say, hey Kato, and then straight like that, she straight pull a gun in his face, boom, wake him up. He in a cold sweat. More so he's woken up by Meech banging on the door. So Meech come in, and Meech basically asked him like, yeah, what's good? Like, I heard you got your own little connect. Boop, 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 boop. So he like, yeah, man, I tried it. It really ain't hit on nothing. So I kind of just left it alone for real. And he like, what? You been thinking about Kato? He like, man, I told you, don't stop worrying about that rat. He like, look, that was my baby mother. I would have straight asked him, how you knew that? How you know that? You feel me? Like, all of these is questions that I'm sure Meech had running through his mind, but he just wasn't about to ask him because he was divided. He was putting all the pieces together. Meech was putting all the pieces together. Listen, he ain't buying it. He ain't buying it. You got LaWanda snooping. Here's the thing, bitch, you live there. Why are you snooping around? So then I see her, and she snoops into the room with Terry, and she steals a belt out of his drawer. He ends up waking up, and then she starts playing I want to keep my family together. You want to do this and get back in the game with Meech. I'm here for you. I'm gonna just stick it out. Woody woody woo. So they decide to go take a family portrait. They must be going down to Sears. What year is this? Because ain't that where everybody used to take their pictures at down at Sears? Is. I feel like LaWanda is easily manipulated. Not even to say like, under the Terry situation, she's reaping some type of benefit from that whole situation. So it's like, all right, cool. Now, when I felt like she got manipulated by Lucille to take that man baby away, it was like, what was you getting out of that? Because you had to then go stay with somebody else. Your money was cut off. Like, what was the real? But okay. Of course, in the next scene, Jen presses Brian. She presses Brian about what the fuck him and Smitty was talking about, and she tells him straight up, like, bro, when it come down to it, you don't want me to not have your back because you've been fucking lying this whole time. So he tells her straight up, like, which I didn't think he was gonna do, because I'm just like, bro, I mean, she already basically asked you, was you dirty? So he like, look, I took some keys from evidence, and I'm going to use these as part of my ploy to bring down Meech. So she like, look, as long as the shit clean and above table, I'm with it. So I'm like, oh my God, Jen is just, they both like a dog with a bone. Oh my God. We at the Soul Night party, look. I don't know what year this is supposed to be, but Meech ends up running into Jalen Rose.
No, we had a couple of days off. You know I had to jet to the crib for this.
I feel like he was playing himself. So, they talking about, him putting on for Michigan and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, so I'm definitely thinking he playing himself. She done showed up to the party in the fur. He got the valet, tossed the key, blah, blah, blah. He get up in there, he had to make his introduction. So, of course, he treats Jalen to a drink. Him and Jalen drink. And then he straight sent a set of drinks over to the PA niggas. And they giving like, oh, nah, we good. Like, we don't even know who you is. You feel me? And he tells them, like, look, I saw y'all at K9 Spot. I'm just trying to make an introduction. What's good? I'm Meech, blah, 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 blah. So in the midst of all of that, a whole nother argument pop off with the PA niggas and some other niggas, and they straight called them pussy ass. I said, oh, wow. So then they get to scrapping. Meech is so calculated that Meech like, all right, they ain't really fuck with me just now, but I feel like if I helped them in this fight, I could probably finagle. So, of course, Meech jump in the fight. They win the fight because Meech got in it, you feel me? And, of course, the three of them end up getting kicked out. And then you get the intro between Meech and the nigga Sterling or whatever. And they like, look, let's meet up somewhere else just in case these niggas try to spin the block. So the parents is too naive for me. So you got Charles sitting in there getting a haircut by Terry. Lucille in there doing, cussing them out because she like, why y'all not doing it in the kitchen, in the bathroom? Like y'all literally cutting hair in the kitchen, which I think is fucking disgusting. But that's a whole nother story. Like, and it's like Charles is sitting there basically asking Terry how Atlanta was. Like them niggas wasn't on the run. And Terry sitting up there talking about, yeah, I seen a lot of colleges. Terry, you wasn't on no fucking college tour. You wasn't on no college tour. You were on the run. And y'all went down there to re-up. And now all of a sudden you talking about colleges. And then Charles and Lucille eating it up. Like what they wasn't there when y'all ran out the house. I don't understand. Like, so while they talking about that or whatever, here go that Terry teacher. He sees the potential in Terry. Okay, he like, listen, I want this guy to graduate. So he comes in and he's like, listen, I know Terry missed a lot of work. Basically, I'm here to tutor him to make sure he get caught up so that he can, graduate or whatever. Terry basically tell that man like, listen, thanks but no thanks. Basically, giving very much. I'm not coming back to school. So he's like, all right, if you reconsider, you know where to find me. All right. So of course he leaves. Per regular black parents. As soon as that door closed, Terry, what the fuck are you talking about? So of course they get into a screaming match about, him basically wanting to be like Meech, throwing his life away, this, that, and the third. And Terry tell him like, look, me and Meech is businessmen, and we're basically like on some shit that's like very big, and we're about to be able to expand. So, and then he says to his parents, he's like, if you think I'm that smart and you feel this way and that way, just wish me and Meech luck. I said, this motherfucker is crazy. He don't weigh too much to be like 17, 18. I don't know how old he is, but I think you're selling dope. You had the binge, you lost the eye, you got a baby mother, a 30-year-old girlfriend. It's just a lot. And your parents is just letting you run off to Atlanta because they know you on the run. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. So you got, and the next thing you got Meech pulling up at Monique house. And I'm just like, all right, okay. So of course he break her off for the whole Denise thing, and they rapping, and she basically end up telling him like, man, that nigga Lamar, he bullshit, he can't smash, he can't do this, he can't do that, and he got a motherfucking bag, right? So I'm like, damn. So first one was about the smashing thing. I thought exactly what Meech thought. Meech giving like, bitch, how you know he can't smash? Like, I mean, granted, word around town could have got around because after that big joint tried to smash him for real, and he ain't get up. Who knows? She could have told her friend that told her friend. Who knows? So he like, man, I ain't even tripping. I'm about to put that nigga Lamar down, right? Monique Street tell him like, you got to understand, he born and bred in this. She like, if you think you about to get him on some regular street shit, she like, no. She like, you're going to need to be overly calculated and overly prepared. That's just it. Like, Like, for real. Because this nigga's vicious. Like, his train of thought and just how he... Nah, yo. So we back at Alvin's house. And this nigga then took the dog to that man's house. And here's my thing. It would be probably completely okay to bring the dog there. All right, cool. Why the fuck do you have the dog in the man's house and then it's feeding the dog that man's food? So Alvin pressed him. He like, did you feed that damn mutt, my damn hungry man? And he like, first of all, don't call my dog a mutt. He like, boy, fuck you and that dog. And why is you giving the dog table food? So Lamar ends up standing up.
Apologize. I wish the fuck nigga apologize to Blackie right here, right now. Oh, I swear to God, man, I'll beat your ass and feed you to him.
Threatening to feed Alvin to Blackie if he don't apologize for calling him a mutt and basically disrespecting him. And that's what I'm saying about Lamar needs to get out of Alvin's house, because I just feel like between the colostomy bag and the dog, house probably smell like ass. Okay? Seriously. Gotta go. Both of y'all. You and Blackie. Seal is trying like to smooth things over with Charles, and it's annoying because it's just making making her look bad for having the intuition of thinking that Charles was fucking around. And she ain't wrong. She just got it wrong. Charles is trying to like bottle up all his guilt and all of that bullshit and everything he done did, and he trying to take Lucille out. And I'm like, bro, that's not going to make up for the fact that you raw dog Mabel after a party. It's not. You raw dogged it. You gave it the best minute of your life. Like, no. It's really not gonna make up for none of that. So Meech and Terry is at the track house or whatever, and they chopping it up. He like, oh yeah, by the way, I got the PA boys, you know, I had to get into a little thing, you feel me? Because Meech all scratched up, and he like, what the fuck happened to you? And he like, look, I had to get into a thing, but we got them one outside and they gonna help us with Lamar. He like, all right, bet. So then Terry ended up telling Meech that Nikki got a job at the salon. So hey, typical Meech. Meech go down there to fuck with her, and he end up meeting the owner, who was like she's like a little baddie, I guess, a little for back then or whatever. She's like a little baddie. So he introduces himself to her.
What would you say if I had an opportunity for you to increase your revenue in the next few weeks?
Tell me what?
Positions her, and I'm just thinking like, damn, I mean, I guess everybody is trying to just make it for real. So everybody is probably willing to take a couple of hours from a drug deal or let them run some drugs out the salon, whatever. So they cut a deal. Nikki sees the deal go down, and I'm just like, yo. The reason why Nikki got a job is because she wants to get away from y'all, and then y'all gonna come to her fucking job and infiltrate the shit. Why? Next thing you got like Terry outside, running outside in the rain. I'm thinking like, nigga, get an umbrella. Where are you going? What are you doing? So of course he loaded himself up into the car, one of the business cars, and he driving. And mind you, Brian and them is still like being super irky and super stalky. So they end up like following Terry, run a stop sign. They consider pulling him over for that, but then it's like, oh, we might blow out cover, so let's not do that. So they follow him, and thank God it's just Markeisha weak ass out there in the rain talking about boom to put her and the kids out. Talking about she been spending his money. Sir, Damon from All American Homecoming, stop beating on that lady, sir, and putting her and your sons out in the rain. That's not cool. Like, it's not. And then, of course, Terry trying to be super saver hoe. He go pick her up, and she's like, oh, can we go back to your house and, get me out of these wet clothes? Bitch, no, he's a child. You want to go back to his parents' house? Is that where you want to go? So he like, I think a hotel would be better. They in there chopping it up. She telling Terry about her dreams and aspirations. And mind you, by then, Brian and Jen have copped a hotel room across the street. So it's just like, we're all here. We're all in the vicinity just watching. And them two in the room, and Terry and Markeisha in there with the kids. And, she's just basically telling you know, telling him her aspiration. He ends up leaving because he's like, you know, I gotta go grab some shit. And she can smell it. She can smell the bullshit on him because she's very much given. Why couldn't we go to your house? And he ends up telling her, like, look, bitch, my baby mother and my son are there. And, you know, she asks him how old how old the kid is and do he still love his baby mother? And I'm just like, what, girl? Do you still love your husband? What difference do it make? Like, y'all both sitting up here committing adultery in some sense of it. Like, y'all worry about, when you worry about whether or not he love her. Did you, listen, Linda, let's just go to Charles and Lucille at dinner. I got completely flustered off of that whole scene with Marquisha, because the whole shit with the real lady in the character in the portrayal of her being like a pedophile, and it's just a lot with it. And I don't even know if they realize what they doing with that. They should probably reevaluate that. Let's hope that she a young wife. Let's assume that she a young wife. Let's assume even still, she would still be older than Terry, regardless. But let's just assume she like 22, 23-year-old wife. Let's give her that, all right? So we had dinner with Charles and Lucille. Lucille drunk. And Charles is putting the moves on it. And my thing is, it's like, Charles, don't try to smash her now, sir. Don't. You didn't want her at first, so why are you trying to smash her now? Let her be. She's sitting there doting over the nigga. Oh my God, gushing over him. Oh my God, you're such a loyal and trustworthy husband who only wants the best for his family. But I do gotta tell you that I pressed Sister Riley because I thought you was fucking her. And I'm like, well, considering Sister Riley had told you that they wasn't smashing, I don't feel like you even had to say all that for real. You didn't. You really didn't. But I mean, hey, if you want to clear the air, go for it. So of course Charles like, who? What? Sister Riley? No. He straight. He sit back like he done got all his books in the game of spades. He sit back.
You with Sister Riley. I'm dedicated to you.
He like, oh no, by the way, I ain't sleeping with no Sister Riley. We know, because you're sleeping with Mabel. You just feel like you won just because she don't know who it is. Okay, Terry end up dipping to go get the shit. He come back with some pieces, Genesis, and all this stuff. He like, oh yeah, I got this for the kids, you know. Woo-woo. He come out, the kids ain't even there. Okay, the kids ain't even, listen, kids ain't in the room. She like, oh yeah, I put them in the bed. I'm like, what type of fucking hotel is this? You got like a main room and a bedroom, and I'm just like, okay, with the door and I'm like, okay, whatever. This is a nice hotel. But you know what? Terry probably broke a couple of houses to put up in there. It probably wasn't no cheap shit for real. It probably was nice. I can only imagine Terry probably dropping a couple hundred to put up in something nice. That's probably why it had the main room separated from the bedroom. It was probably like an extended in type of hotel. You know, it was probably something like that. So, yeah, they get it on. Like, straight like that. Like, Terry straight eating the cat. Like, so from the window, you got Jen and Brian like watching them. And I'm just like, okay, what's wrong with these weirdos? And then Jen talk about, well, first one was Brian talk about somebody is hungry. And then Jen like, yeah, basically.
Well, ever need me to handle that?
What makes you think you can handle it?
Well, the fun's in trying to find out.
I know. Basically, I'm like, hold up, did Jen eat the cat? Did Jen eat the cat? But then I felt like her and Brian was flirting. And he walked up all up on her and shit. I said, wait a minute. I said, are they flirting? But is she gay? Like, is she hungry to eat some? But is he trying to? I don't even know. Keisha basically curves this man. She done took the D and curved him after he done ate a box and all that. She basically tell him like, oh, I think you should go home. And then tries to use the kids as an excuse, like you ain't just smashed this man while the kids was in the bath. And now you want to talk about having strange men around your kids. You think the kids ain't here, you getting your box ate out there? Like, that's crazy. It's crazy. Extended stay or not, I'm sure the rooms are still very close. So she shakes this man's hand, and Brian and Jen see it from the window. So they like, hold up, if Terry's stepping out on this baby mother, maybe we can use that to our advantage. And I'm like, I mean, LaWanda weak, but she ain't weak like that. You feel me? She ain't a weak bitch. So it's like, I'm thinking like, she ain't gonna do that. Like this is new thing now. Lamar rolling around with the dog and shit. So he even got a goddamn bow tie on the dog. Dog's still all raggedy though. So Monique coming out of her little, like a dance aerobics class or the Richard Simmons class or whatever it was she was coming out of. And of course he startles her. And she like, the fuck wrong with that dog? Like, you feel me? And he got the weird ass connection with the dog. And, you know, she like, you know, just cause, you know, you take care of a beaten dog don't mean it's gonna change the past, Lamar. He like, nah, but I'm gonna teach this dog, you know, this old dog new tricks. Monique looked at that dog and said, that ain't no damn pet. That ain't no pet. She said, that is a vicious beast that only look like he ready to attack. It's not like she giving him the idea that they about to get back together ever. She's pretty much blowing him off every time they see each other. So I just don't get why he keep like, he don't get it. I guess he want to really get his family back. But moving right along, you got the niggas all, everybody posted up outside, you know, outside, like, you know, I guess it's like a liquor store, convenience store, whatever. So you got Meech and all the, Meech, Terry, the nigga Hoop, probably, and a couple of other niggas, and the PA niggas, and they out there, you know, chopping it up. Woo, woo, woo. Here come Dink. First one was Dink roll up, whole attitude, talk about some motherfucking shit that Terry done sold him, that got the fiends mad, talking about the weight was off, this, that, and the third, and you know, he like, I want my fucking money back, you know, and me, Terry like, nigga, or what, like, you feel me? So then them two get into a scuffle.
Just give me my money back, nigga. Or what? Oh, break that shit up! Break it off! Stop that shit! Come on, man! Come on, man!
Meech end up having to save Terry because for Verfer, I'm not even gonna lie, the looks of it, Dink was pretty much like giving Terry the business. And then here's my thing. Who you started this whole bullshit. Now it all makes sense of why that dude was asking you for something in that earlier scene. Because what you're doing is you've been skimming, trying to sell your own shit. So what happened was you skimped from Dink and had what's his name think that, and had Dink think that Terry fucked up the weight. No, you did that. That's why you tried to intervene and calm the whole shit down. And the PA niggas pulled the strap on you because they like, nigga, you better stay the fuck out of it. That, and by then Terry and Meech was wailing on Dink ass. So it don't even matter. One thing I did notice is them PA niggas is ready for war all the time. They ready for whatever. Yeah, I like them. If you gonna cheat, I don't feel like you should have went back to Mabel's house. You know you don't have no self-control. And you know, and you still like, you still not perfect. So at the end of the day, it's not like y'all in this perfect space where y'all about to just be smashing all the time, this, that, and the third. Y'all so in love. No, it's not giving that. So, of course, you go to Mabel's house thinking you about to call it off. Oh, Mabel, I'm about to call this off. Of course, what did he do? Call and tell her she was coming? What did he do? He must have called and said he was coming, because why she ain't had no clothes on when he was there? So he get there and she all like, he all like, I love my wife and we can't do this no more, so I'm going home. And maybe like she hit the road. What movie was that? Where the bitch was like, oh, Scarface. She slid that robe open like the sister did on Scarface. Tell me you wanna fuck me, Tony? Huh? Yeah. So she slid the robe open. And she like, you ain't even gonna look at me and say bye. And she put them long ass titties on his back. And of course Charles get the hyperventilating. Couldn't control himself. He gave a way better go this time. Bravo, Charles. You cheating at a higher level now. Bravo. One thing about Nikki gonna say how she feel and she gonna talk her shit, okay? Because in the next scene, she busts up in her own job. Listen, she just started working. I don't know who she thinks she is or why she thinks she can talk to people that pay her like that, but she busts up in there and she basically tells her boss off. She like,
what was that money for?
Your brother paid for a service.
What kind of service we got here require a bag of money?
Yo, why you tripping? We all grown.
All y'all the same.
what's up? Why my brother back there? Basically, like, she like, he paid for a service. She like, what service, that we carry that would cost a duffel bag full of money? She like, look, little girl, calm down. We all grown. We all grown. So, of course, Nikki irritated. She's storming out because she like, y'all all the same. Nikki, I'm sorry. The game is the game, baby. And y'all in Detroit. Everybody trying to get a couple extra ends, baby. And take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. I'm trying to tell you. So Terry pops back up at the hotel. That's after she done curved him and sent his ass home. He come back and the bed is all made up. And I don't even think housekeeping did that. I feel like she did that. And left him a little note. Basically broke up with him via note and told him he was too broke because he already got one family. He can't take care of her and her kids. So I'm like, so you could go back to your abusive husband who put you out in the rain because your high school boyfriend ain't financially stable enough. Bitch, it doesn't matter. He's your fucking high school boyfriend. He wasn't about to take care of you anyway. Like, only way he was about to take care of you was in the bedroom. Considering that was Markeisha last night there, Bryant and Jen is packing up to leave too. So, Bryant Page will go off and he lies. And he like, look, it's my son. I gotta go bust a move. Jen, one thing about her is she can smell the bullshit on Bryant's ass. So she like, all right, cool. Just drop me off at home before you go, go home and see your son or whatever. So of course they leave. He like, all right, well, girl, come on. The next scene, we see somebody we ain't seen in a few episodes. It's the nigga K9, fucking weirdo. Like, so come to find out, he ain't paying his debts. So you got the audacity to be a cold-blooded killer and to not be paying the Colombians, who are probably more cold-blooded killers than you. Pay these people their money, sir. Pay these Colombians their money before it all trickle down. Because what's going to happen is it's going to be on everybody. And then Meech and them going to feel crazy because they're not going to be able to, they're not going to know what to do. Which they probably just going to have to link up with the Colombians and kill your ass. So I hope you're ready. Because Meech know. Because, what's his name, Ray? The one who was taking the call for you, he telling all your business.
K9 owes his Colombian Connect 20 mil and refuses to pay. Man, shut the fuck up. What's wrong with that nigga, man? Hell if I know. It's fucking suicide.
Just to let you know, he telling all your business to Meech. But see, that's because niggas is concerned. You owe somebody $20 million, sir, and you're not even trying to pay, like, none of your installments. Like, you just, like, fuck them. Talking about he'll get it when he get it. I'm like, oh, okay, now that's a lot of money that you think some Colombians will be playing with. Why would you think that? That's not going to go well for nobody. That's all I'm going to say. Brian ends up at B. Mickey house. Of course, lying ass. So like I said, Jen was already hip. He in there talking to B. Mickey. They get a bang at the door. B. Mickey like, Brian, like, you expecting company? And here go Jen, busting up.
This doesn't look like Kevin to me.
Detective Jen, meet my CI, Brian Mickey.
I don't know what the fuck you got going on, but you can't keep having randos.
Be
popping up
Mickey.
unannounced.
So now it was 2 fucking cops in this mama basement that then just walked in his front shit that everybody come in the same way. Everybody go in the same way. So how do you think none of this is being seen, B. Mickey? Like I said, all of this shit was goofy from Jump Street. I felt like they should have been meeting up off the grid if that was what they were gonna do. But nigga, you're meeting you and then you kept allowing these motherfuckers to come to your house. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, okay. Let me try to think like him. But not really though. So I'm like, okay, y'all want me to do this for y'all. But y'all making it hot by keep coming to my house. I feel like y'all don't really give a fuck about me because what happens when somebody catches y'all coming out my shit. I'm a dead man. That's right. So stop coming to my house. Is what B Mickey should have been telling them. But he wasn't. He was acting stupid and scared. And now you got two cops in your face. Jen passing off her card. Bitch, for what? For what? Why you passing off your card? We don't care. Next scene, Meech and Terry had the same train of thought that I had. They like, listen, we might very well have to backdoor K9. And Terry like, what? Why would you do that? He's a fucking psycho. Da, 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 da. And I'm like thinking the same thing. He is a psycho. But at the end of the day, these Colombians could be way more crazier than him. So he like, look, clearly he don't want this connect. He ain't willing to pay these niggas. We probably gonna have to do what we gonna have to do. Right? And then he like, oh yeah, plus, you know, I gotta meet with B Mickey. Terry says this about having a meetup with B Mickey about some medical grade, this, that, and the third. And Meech just ain't buying it. Like, Meech ain't been buying nothing B Mickey been talking about since that night of the shooting. So he should just stop trying to sell him more shit. Like, you feel me? Next scene, listen, this one gonna be quick because it was just egg on face. All it was egg on face. Terry come in, he looking for his belt that this bitch done stole, LaWanda. They getting ready for the Sears photo shoot. And he like, where's my belt? And, you know, she like, we don't got time to be playing these stupid ass games, basically. Woody, woody, woo. This, that, and the third. Far as you looking for this belt? And he like, look, what do you want me to have my pants sagging while we taking the pictures? He like, look, I'm already trying to be cordial. She like, cordial? So you basically feel like I'm forcing you to do this. And he like, look, girl, come over that bullshit. You feel me? So, of course, she like, I just want you to appreciate your family. He like, I do. Come on. And they did. And that's it for that because LaWanda, girl, you really thought she was going to catch that man waking up and he wasn't going to whisper you sweet nothings and now you think that y'all back on full-fledged. Girl, you took that man's son. Stop that. In the next scene, you got Lamar coming out the liquor store. You got two PA niggas basically stalking him coming out the store. Blackie is alerting him, okay? So Blackie is the perfect guard dog. So he alerts the nigga.
Meech's bitch ass sent you, didn't he? Man, fuck you. Yeah, I thought as much.
First nigga gets bucked. Pow! So other nigga come around the corner, he looking around trying to figure out how this whole shit happened. Lamar pops him in the ankle. Pow! Right? So he falls to the ground and he straight look at him and he like, yeah, me sent you, didn't he, basically? And he like, man, fuck you. He said, yeah, I thought so. Bow! Blow his shit. So I'm like, damn. I'm like, him and Blackie really is in sync. Really? What's the deal with LaWanda mother, y'all? What they on? Cause why they got a whole bunch of Terry comments? And she basically asks LaWanda, like, you know, do he love you? Are y'all together? What's really going on with y'all? And LaWanda don't really have no answers for her mother. So her mother basically tell her, like, yeah, you know what you gotta do. And she like, yeah, she come back with a bag. And she like, yeah, I got his jacket, I got his belt.
I love it. I have his jacket and his chain. I think we got everything we need. All right then.
So I'm like, so what they about to do? Frame this nigga for something? Cause that's what the fuck it sound like. It sound like they about to frame him for something. Either that or weirdest scenario I'm about to throw out here, y'all. Weirdest scenario. Is this girl about to abuse herself and accuse Terry of doing it to try to force him to stay with her? Cause why, or are they just about to frame him for something? Cause why would she need all of that stuff? And why is it such a secret? And why does the mother look so shifty? Pay attention to the mother, y'all. I don't know who she is or what's wrong with her. And you got B Mickey and Meech showing up for the meet. So they basically meeting to, you know, see what's up with this medical grade shit, blah, 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 blah. Again, like I said, one thing about Meech is I feel like he been calculated and he been putting the pieces together for the longest time about this whole thing with B Mickey, especially when it came down to him not being able to make that drop up there to Cleveland. So he show up, he end up like basically like going down memory lane with the man. Like telling him that he love him, talking about he gonna fuck with him, that's this man's for life, whoopity whoopity whoop, here go a promotion, you gonna basically be selling your own shit, running your own shit. This man takes off the cat. First and foremost, stop, rewind, listen. This man ain't wore a hat all show. Maybe in the first season. Maybe in the first season, but I feel like they specifically went out their way all second season to not have him in no hat. So he rolls up in there, and Meech like thinking what I'm thinking, like, why the fuck did he got this hat on? So, like I said, back to the conversation that they was having. This man takes the hat off. First of all, as soon as he took it off, this big ass motherfucking wire come flopping out the shit. And I'm just like, this the best they could, what year is this? This the best they could put you in? Is this big goofy ass wire on your head? So, of course, he show it to him. They don't say nothing because the shit's still recording. Meech make a beeline out the back door. This man drops the hat and starts following Meech as if they still cool. What made you think that? Explain. Explain. B. Mickey, what made you think that? So, of course, they get out. They get outside and B. Mickey tell him, like, you know, I ain't have a choice. And, you know, Meech tell him straight up, like, nigga, there's always a choice. Brian and Jen bust out the door, you know, Jen out the window. She straight tell Brian, like, look, they gone. And they took the drugs. So now... Now, Brian and Jen go ahead and explain where them damn drugs at. They go ahead and explain where them damn drugs went. And it's not going to go well for them when they try. So we'll see how that play out. So, of course, the only thing I could think is like, listen, B. Mickey, if anything, boy, you better get your ass out of town, okay? And here's his Achilles heel. His mama. Because every time he feel like he got to make a move or a big play or something, he go see his mother. So he go see his mother, tell her like, look, I got to get out of town. Woody, woody, whoop. I left some money for you up front. She basically just looking at him confused about why he got to leave. He ends up going outside, keep trying to spark this blunt, keep sparking it, keep sparking the lighter, keep sparking the lighter. Finally, he get a solid flame. By the time he get that flame, niggas then put the bag over his head. Snatched him. I said, that's them PA niggas. One thing about them, they don't play. Meech probably made one call as soon as, first of all, Meech got a cell phone. So just know Meech made the call. And it was the PA niggas. But I guess we just gonna have to find out next week, y'all. Look, that was BMF's Season 2, Episode 6, Homecoming. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. HighTimez out, y'all.